Now, in our first story, newly elected flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, is rallying the rank and file of his party to set their focus on helping the NDC lead the country out of the current abyss it finds itself in. The former president garnered an impressive 297,603 votes, accounting for a staggering 98.9% of the valid votes cast at the just-ended primaries. His closest competitor, Kojobonsu, secured 3,181 votes out of the total 300,784 valid votes. Now, he is calling for unity as he gives the nod to lead the party for the 2024 elections.
Primaries of the NDC was officially declared. I'm humbled by the overwhelming vote of confidence reposed in me by the party. I want to thank God for bringing the NDC this victory. Traversing the country for all these days, weeks and months without any fatalities can only be by God's special favor. My profound gratitude goes to the delegates of our party for their warm welcome, active engagement, and participation during my tour. In your usual astute manner, you turned up in your numbers across the country to vote in our party's presidential and parliamentary primaries. I also want to thank Dr. Kwabena Dopo and Mr. Kojobonsu for their contest. My appreciation also goes to Mr. Enes Kobia, who pulled out to support me in this contest. Their taking part in this primary has cemented our party's enviable record as the most democratic political tradition in our dear country, Ghana. Let us disagree to agree, but let us keep our collective sights firmly on the supreme objective of the NDC, leading Ghana out of the current abyss in which we find our country. I also ask for cooperation amongst all our elected parliamentary candidates and their respective aspirants and supporters in all the constituencies across the country. Our party is the winner because there are no individual winners and losers in this intra-party contest. I want to thank my campaign and operational team for keeping their focus and delivering a clean campaign. I want to thank our donors and financiers for your support and to thank the media for propagating our message and all our religious and traditional leaders who prayed on our behalf for the peace and success we have achieved today. On Monday, at the University of Development Studies in Tamale, I will join a teeming number of the rank and file of the NDC and Ghanaians in general to deliver my formal acceptance speech. I'll see you in Tamale, and may God bless us all, and thank you for your kind attention.
Well, let's stay with the NDC, competitive and chaotic. Words that best describe the NDC primaries at Ningo-Prampram, where Sam George beat Michael Kwete-Tete. Joseph Akakpo was there and reports.
Resounding victory. Sure. That's it. There's nothing more to add. It's going to be a resounding victory. It's like I've said earlier on. It's a battle between light and darkness, and I've never seen anywhere where darkness has prevailed over light.
How many football clubs have you seen that when they have a match and you ask them, they tell you, yes, I'm going to lose? He's going to lose it.
The Ningo-Prampram race was always going to be competitive. First, because the constituency has always been won by the NDC. This means the winner of the internal contest was almost certainly parliament bound. The previous contest in 2019 between Sam George and Michael Kwete-Tete was settled by 7 votes. The two were confident of victory.
The margin between the NDC and the NPP in Ningo-Prampram was a mere 3,000, just 3,000. Okay, that's how close it was. In 2015, when I became parliamentary candidate, 1 year of working, we moved it to 10,000 in 1 year in 2016. And in 2020, we moved it to 30,000. So when you take my report card as a member of parliament, every 4 years, from 3,000 to 30,000, it goes without saying that the people can only reward you with their votes if you work for them. And
you know, this is politics, and it's just like a war. So when you are going for war, you employ all sorts of strategies. So it is part of my strategy to do a few things in the house before coming on the ground. And that was it.
I mean, the last time the difference in the votes was just 7 votes. Does that give you confidence that this time around you'll be able to emerge victorious?
Yeah, exactly so. You know, as you are saying, this is not the first time I'm contesting. And last time I contested, the difference was 7 in favor of Honorable Sam George. Now, don't also forget that there were 27 others who participated and voted in the presidential primaries, but they were prevented from voting in the parliamentary, and all those 27 were my supporters, which means that if they were to be allowed to vote, I would have won by 20 votes.
Voting commenced around 8 a.m. MP Sam George had alleged a sponsored plot was set to be implemented to scuttle the polls.
Because the other side, we had intelligence, the police as well, and don't forget, the police also got us intelligence. We had intelligence we shared with the police, and the police corroborated our intelligence. They had brought in a few miscreants. They know they are losing the elections, and so they wanted to mar the elections. And so we requested for a beef up of police from both region and national. We asked our divisional command to also beef up their numbers. And so they are my guests. We are happy they are here. They are law enforcement officers. If you come here as a delegate and you cast your vote through the process, the police is smiling. They're not touching anybody.
Well, voting came to a standstill at least twice. The first was when the police had to arrest 2 delegates who were almost at each other's throats. The second interference lasted more than 45 minutes. Some 16 delegates were prevented from voting. They, however, insisted they had secured a court order allowing them to participate in the exercise.
We want all of us, and then they send it to court. We send our chairman send the case to court. So as we said, the court grant order for us that we should come and go. They give us order and everything. Now we are in here to vote, and they said no, we cannot vote. We went to court. We have been to court, and the court have given clearance to come and vote. What is that?
I mean, so you hear it is the issue about the order that came in from the court, and we are told that the court had issued an order that some delegates should be allowed to vote, and they've come in here with that court order and their names are not in the list, and so that is what is happening here. You can see Michael Kwete Tete here. He is trying to intervene and heading towards the booth. Sam George is also here as well. A couple of the booths are virtually almost falling down, and so Mr. George is here. Mr. Kwete Tete is also here. You can see him here engaging the officials here and insisting that something must be done and these individuals must be allowed to vote. And so he is intervening here. You can see him engaging. He has that court order with him, the order that came from the court.
The AC officials for many minutes made frantic calls to the party's headquarters in search of answers. They were eventually asked not to allow the 16 delegates to vote. Then came the long wait for results.
I can only make you one promise, the delegates and people of Ningo-Prampram. Sam George will work even harder in the next parliament. Our next target is to achieve 100,000 votes for the NDC and John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 elections, and make sure that President Mahama is sworn in at the Black Star Square on the 7th of January 2025. Yes. That is the next focus of the constituency myself and the executives. But I just want to say a big thank you to my delegates. Those of you who interviewed me in the morning, I said to you, they say fear delegates, but I trust my delegates. That's right. And they have not let me down. And I will continue to work for them. We look neither east or west, we look forward. We're focused on the job. My team and I will deliver 100,000 votes. Anybody who wants to join us is welcome.
Sam George wins Ningo-Prampram.
We'll stay with the NDC as incumbent Member of Parliament for the West Central constituency, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpuo, has conceded the 2024 general election is not going to be child's play and therefore called for the support of all vanquished parliamentary aspirants in the party to rally behind him for victory. He noted that although he was declared the victor in the primary, it was the NDC that was the ultimate winner. Dr. Pelpuo polled 637 out of the 1,807 votes to beat former Chief Executive Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, Alhaj Hudu Mokhtari. Lawyer Wahid Wampori Idrisu and lawyer Abubakar Mutiu Rahman. Join News Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam now reports from WA.
Retrofitted every 4 years, we will win the West Central parliamentary primaries, though always struggles before he wins the general elections. Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpuo, for a safe time, had his name on the ballot paper.
That 19 years is a starting point for many people, and for myself, it is the ultimate. I mean, I've gotten to the climax of what I want to do to my people or for my people. I've gotten to the climax, and I know I will yield better fruits than ever before.
A total of 1,807 delegates decided the fate of the 4 aspirants and the close uniform and plainclothes police protection. Among the males of delegates at the Botanical Institute Auditorium are stalwarts and senior members of the party at the national level, including National Chairman of the Council of Elders and former Defense Minister in the Rawlings administration, Alhaji Idrisu Mahama. All 4 aspirants, with the exception of lawyer Wahid Wampori Idrisu, who was not yet ready to speak to us, were satisfied with the voting process and predicted victory for themselves.
I've been through a lot of elections, and you can sense victory when it's coming. I can feel it. I feel the excitement in the room. I see people looking at me and beaming with smiles, which means they are ready to give the mandate to us.
Well, I think the process is smooth, and I am confident that at the end of the day, I will be proclaimed the victor.
After 8 hours of voting with few disagreements, the ballots were sorted out and results declared for the presidential and parliamentary primaries by the one municipal electoral officer of the Electoral Commission, Ben Anagulu.
Candidate John Dramani Mahama polled 1,712 votes. Candidate Kojo Bonsu polled 49 votes. Kobna Dufo, 0. The first candidate is candidate Hudu Mokhtari. He polled 708 votes, representing 39.6 votes percent. Candidate number 2, candidate Abdul Rashid H. Pelpuo polled 871 votes, representing 48.7%. Candidate number 3, candidate Wahid Wampori Idrisu polled 104 votes, representing 5.8%. Candidate number 4, Abubakar Mutiu Rahman polled 91 votes, representing 5.1%.
Dr. Rashid Pelpuo was magnanimous in victory.
It is victory not just for me, but to all of us. It is victory for NDC. We are now having the flag in front of me, with all of them working with me, I believe very strongly that 2024 is not going to be a child's play. We will work together to win it as well. The candidates who contested me, I want to extend my gracious admiration for them.
From the politics, let's head to Makola now, where a shop owner is counting his losses as being over 24,000 pieces of frontal human hair and hair products that have been destroyed in a fire that gutted the shop at Makola in Accra. The incident occurred Saturday night. Managers of the shop, who are devastated, say they are waiting for an official report from the Ghana National Fire Service to ascertain the actual cause of the fire. My colleague Carlos Caloni has the rest of the story.
As you can see in your shots there, we are currently at Avia Hair Collection here at Makola near Rollins Park, where fire actually raised down this particular shop. Now, this shop deals in hair and body creams and all that, and we're told that 8:30 p.m. Yesterday, the place was gutted by fire, and as you can see from the ceiling, the fire actually caused a lot of havoc, and you can see the air conditioners and the wires hanging up there. And so this fire actually spread to other parts of the shop, and the ceilings have been badly damaged. We will be engaging with the manager of this facility to understand what might have caused this fire and what their next line of action is going to be.
It's very unfortunate that it happened yesterday evening around between 8:30 to 9. I was called on my way home by my boss, so I have to return back. So when I got here, there was already fire service people were fighting, doing their best to bring the fire down. After they finished fighting the fire, I questioned them, but according to them, they have to do their report. So they promised that by close of tomorrow, they will give us the report as to what causes the fire outbreak. But for now, we've not heard anything from them, so we don't know what causes the fire. We received a product from, I think, Dubai, and that was Thursday and Friday. So even on Saturday, yesterday, we left there very late, tried to sort the product out because I have a delivery on Monday, which is going to Nigeria and other parts of our customers. The product at the store is huge. Because I did a report, I raised the invoice yesterday, and I saw what, I was going to Nigeria, and that one alone. Yeah.
So that is the harrowing narration from Kobla, the manager of this facility from Avia Hair Collection here. My name is Carlos Caloni for Joy News.
A bit of a sad note on which to cap off the news, but that's how we end. Up next, the news review. Do stay.